So, let's talk about breathing. We breathe, us humans, 25,000 times a day. Yeah, we inhale oxygen from these guys, plants, and we exhale carbon dioxide. Very cool, so we're in deep connection with nature and plants. The correct way to breathe is to breathe in our nose and out our nose. Why? Because our nose has all these little hairs in our nostrils which filter and moisten the air. They get it to the right temperature before it comes into our lungs, our alveoli, these little sacs in our lungs. Inside the nose as well, oxygen comes in and our noses formulate it into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is what we call a vasodilator. It dilates our arteries, our veins, and our capillaries, which carry blood and oxygen. Nasal breathing is also linked to allergies and the prevention of snoring. So we breathe 25,000 times a day. Most of us are breathing, how shall we say it, not in the correct fashion. We're breathing too fast, we're over breathing. Some say we're breathing about 18 breaths a minute, when we want to be breathing about 5 to 6 breaths a minute. And it's not very difficult to do this if you become consciously aware of your breathing. So if we talk about conscious connected breathing, or ujjayi breathing, as they say in the pranayama realms, or tidal breathing, we think of inhaling and exhaling out our nostril, i.e. like a tide. We inhale, the tide or the wave goes out. We exhale out the nose, the tide and the wave comes in. So conscious connected breathing, or tidal breathing, as I like to call it, is very simple. We place our hand on our stomach and we just connect with our breath as we breathe in our nose and out our nose. Right, it centers us, it slows us down, it gets us more focused. Tidal conscious breathing. We can very quickly, during this, the most simple of mindful methods, get down to 4 or 5 breaths a minute, 6 breaths a minute. And when we inhale in the nose, we hit something called the sympathetic nervous system, our fight and our flight, our amygdala, right? And when we exhale out our nose, we hit the parasympathetic nervous system, the relaxation, the digestion, right? So when we inhale, say we want to get and regulate and control our breathing through conscious connected breathing or tidal breathing, we can be mindful that we could inhale for 4 and say exhale for 6. That is 10 seconds, 6 breaths a minute. Just as easy as that. So we can sit down for 2, 3, 5 minutes a day, preferably more, or when we're out and about and walking around, and just get connected to our breath. So this is called tidal breathing. And how the process again works is we breathe in the nose, the hairs, etc., moisten, filter the oxygen which comes from these beautiful fellas here, the trees. Provokes nitric oxide, which is extremely good for our immune system. It's an immune system booster and a vasodilator, hence very good for our circulatory system. And then we exhale out the nose, which is of course carbon dioxide. Right, you get the communion with nature that's going on here. We give each other what we need. Okay, and as we inhale, the diaphragm here, which is often very tight in us, drops, it contracts as the stomach goes out and the diaphragm contracts and drops, opens up the lungs. We do this unconsciously, but when we become consciously connected to our breathing by simple techniques, the game changes in all our health. As we exhale, the opposite happens. The stomach retracts, comes in, the diaphragm relaxes and pushes up, the lungs constrict, and we expel carbon dioxide. These guys like that, we like it. Okay, so with conscious connected breathing, or the tidal breath, we can change our mood, our endocrine systems, our regulatory systems, our digestive systems, the whole gamut. And we can also loosen up our diaphragm here, which holds a lot of tension in the body, and these little muscles between our rib cage called the intercostals. Look, there's a lot going on here, but this is just one of many techniques that you can do. So I call it the tidal breath, or conscious connected breathing, in communion with nature. That ain't some kind of wussy, soft, hippie out there sloganeering stuff. It's real, it's truthful, and it's what we do. We stand on the earth and we interact with it. But most importantly, we improve our health when we do slow breathing. And you know what? There's just so much more to say about all of this, but there you go. Have a look at my website. Come on board. Be really nice to have you. Your health is your wealth, and it's also your friends, your families, and your worlds. No doubt you're a good dude and a good dudess, so have a good day, yeah? See ya.